You know all your smoke detectors are powered by americium-241, which is more dangerous than plutonium. And I'll talk about plutonium in a while. I testified before the New York State Fire Department, begging them in 1975 not to use americium and use photovoltaic cells. They went with the americium. There are many ways that waste from nuclear power, including food irradiation, is used. Okay, so we've got enriched uranium that's turned into little pellets like chalk and packed in a fuel rod 12 feet long and half an inch thick. And 100 tonnes of these fuel rods of uranium are taken to a reactor. Yours are a bit different, but not much. 100 tonnes. And they're all packed in a reactor like this. The moderating rods are pulled out. The uranium reaches critical mass because it's always shooting off neutrons, and you get a critical mass of neutrons, and the whole thing starts fissioning, like in a bomb, but it doesn't explode, but it produces the heat inside the centre of the sun. And this is all immersed in water, and the water boils. The steam is taken off, which turns a turbine, which generates electricity. So all a nuclear power plant is designed to do is boil water. It's like cutting a pound of butter with a chainsaw. Isn't that amazing? And as Einstein said, I found this lovely quote the other day, Einstein said, nuclear power's a hell of a way to boil water. So you've got 100 tonnes of uranium. It manufactures as much radiation as 1,000 Hiroshima-sized bombs. 200 new elements are made which never existed before man fissioned uranium. Some last seconds and some last millions of years, and that's radioactive waste. A reactor can't operate without continuously emitting radiation into the environment, and it uses 1 million gallons of water a minute. So if you build 4 1,000 megawatt reactors at Peace River, fancy building reactors at Peace River. How ironic. You'll use 4 million gallons a minute of cooling water, and it goes back into your lake or river, relatively radioactive. So the strontium-90 that gets out, and the tritium-H3 and the like, reconcentrate back by orders of magnitude in the algae, the crustaceans, the little fish, the big fish, and humans, because we stand at the apex of the pyramid of the food chain. That's called bioconcentration. So that's not a good idea. Furthermore, if you live near a reactor, you'll be exposed to tritium. Now, the nuclear industry says, oh, tritium, it's only radioactive hydrogen. They are terrified of it. They have a huge literature on tritium. It causes brain tumours, fetal abnormalities, cancers. Its half-life is 12.1 or 2 years. It lasts for 100 years. It combines with oxygen to form tritiated water, H3O, which if you're immersed in a cloud of fog, because there's an inversion system near the reactor, the tritiated water goes straight through your skin. Your skin lets nothing through. It's the most important organ of your body, your skin, the integument. But tritium gets through. It gets through in inhalation. It concentrates in the vegetables and fruit grown in your gardens near the reactor, and you'll be eating it. It is extremely toxic and combines directly to become part of the DNA molecule, the gene. Apart from that, it's terrific. These are called routine releases. I love their euphemistic language. Oh, well, you know, just routine. Do you know the only thing that retards the escape of tritium is gold, because it's so dense. It gets out of glass, stainless steel, plastic, everything. So they can't operate a reactor without tritium, and your can-do reactors make a lot of tritium. Don't live near a Canadian reactor. The other things that are emitted from nuclear power routinely are krypton. You know, remember Superman, krypton, argon and xenon. They're called noble gases because they don't combine in the body chemically, except they're absorbed from the lung, and they're fat-soluble, and they go to the fatty pad in the abdomen and upper thighs. And what's situated there? Testicles and ovaries. And they're very high gamma emitters, like X-rays. So if you live near a reactor, your ovaries and testicles will almost certainly be irradiated. Not continuously, it depends. There's a study called plumology, and you can do it. If you look at some factory emitting smoke, you can see that the plume can go straight up, or it can sort of caterpillar along the ground, or it can hang heavy over the ground in an inversion system. It's a big science. Well, it applies to nuclear reactors where this stuff goes, plumology. Okay, so I'm just going to describe 4 of the elements made in the reactor, but no, they are typical of many of 200. One is radioactive iodine, has a half-life of 8 days, so it's poisonous for 6 weeks. What gland uses iodine? Thyroid gland. Hands up those of you who eat Hershey's chocolates. Come on. I know you do. Milk kisses, you know, M&Ms, put them on your birthday cakes. What? Anyway, guess what? 3 Mile Island's 13 miles from Hershey's chocolates. In the middle of a beautiful dairying area the cows graze. When they had the meltdown, so much radiation got out in the first few minutes, the radiation monitors went totally off scale. No one knows how much got out. But so much radioactive iodine was in the milk, Hershey's powdered the milk for 6 weeks till the iodine decayed away. And then they used it. I've got a lot of documents from a whistleblower who testified on the 3 Mile Island Commission, and he took the documents. He shouldn't, but he did, and I've got them in the book. Awful things happened. A lot of radiation got out, and nobody knows how much. You've all got to get this book and read it. This is primer. This is your homework. I'm a bossy teacher. At Chernobyl, over 8,000 people have had their thyroids removed for thyroid cancer. That's unheard of in the I've never seen a child with thyroid cancer. I might have seen one adult patient with thyroid cancer. Unheard of. And it's ongoing. And those patients, many of them will die from metastases. The next one is strontium-90, almost certainly got out at 3 Mile Island. It's a calcium analogue, goes to bone, which, like radium and Madame Curie, causes bone cancer or leukemia. Half-life 28 years, and it's poisonous for 600 years. Don't eat Hershey's chocolates. I wanted to know the ground measurement where the cows graze. They won't tell us. So what happens is these materials land on the soil. The grass concentrates the strontium and the cesium and the iodine. The cow comes along and eats the grass, and I'm no good at cows, but the operative organ is the udder. So the elements bioconcentrate by orders of magnitude in the grass. The cow eats the grass, and it bioconcentrates in the milk, and off it goes to the Hershey's chocolate factory, where if a pregnant woman eats a Hershey's milk kiss with strontium-90 in it, or she's lactating, it goes through her breast, irradiating cells on the way, and then the baby drinks the milk with strontium-90. Do you see how you've got to understand the biological cycles to understand how this all works? And this is only one example, of course, of biology. Next is cesium-137, and now I'm going to refer you to that map up there. Cesium-137 is a potassium analogue. All our body cells are rich in potassium. It lasts for 30 years. Half-life, it lasts for 600 years. So this is Europe. I wonder if I can use a pen too. That's Chernobyl. And the very dark pink areas are areas of extremely high fallout. The lighter pink are less but a lot. The orange is less but a lot. And you can see that the wind changed 360 degrees frequently as it burnt for 10 days. And I've got Chernobyl in the book. And it went to Belarus, the Ukraine, Russia, and the like. Austria got a lot of fallout. Turkey did too, and here's Turkey. It's not in the thing, but Turkish herbs and dried fruits are very radioactive. Scandinavia got a lot, and I was up there just after the accident. Stupidly, I ate reindeer. Cesium-137 concentrates in the lichen, and the reindeer eat the lichen. It's high in their flesh. Wales and Cumbria got a lot, and in fact, the British government went to some farmers growing lambs and said, you've got to stop growing your lambs. They're full of cesium-137. And the farmer said, well, how long do I have to stop? And they said, oh, about 100 years. It's not at 600 years. I do not eat European food. I look at every label, and with globalisation, you don't know where your food's coming from. I hear much of yours comes from America. You've got to stop that. The average American food article travels 1,270 miles. That's global warming. We've got to become independent, grow our local food. You preserve it, you know, with salted beans and stuff during the winter. You grow your potatoes. You've got to stop eating food coming from God knows where, but especially Europe.